Hey guys, have you ever wanted to go to a restaurant but changed your mind because of a bad review? Please take your time as we dive into this PowerPoint, and I will help you to understand that good reviews and bad reviews can help make a company flourish. At Happily Ever Eating, we like to make sure that each customer, no matter what restaurant they may go to, walks in with a smile and walks out with a smile. One of our biggest inspirations was the show Bar Rescue. We like to go into restaurants firsthand to kind of see how the customer and the server reacts with each other. After we do that, we help the server via practice and on-the-job learning. Happily Ever Eating was founded in 2012, and we are currently located in Atlanta, Georgia. Our goal is to travel all over Georgia to help any family-owned restaurants, and we hope to soon be traveling all over the United States to help any other restaurant that may need it. With that being said, I am Zach Ball. I'm the sales manager of Happily Ever Eating. I graduated from the University of West Georgia with a degree in business management. I've worked in the restaurant industry for about 6 years, and those entire 6 years I've worked with Happily Ever Eating. The restaurant I chose for my presentation is Mary Mac's Tea Room, founded in 1945. Mary Mac's Tea Room is best known for their southern cuisine such as fried green tomatoes, mac and cheese, and sweet potato souffle. This restaurant location also features not one, but many available tea rooms for any parties or get-togethers. The restaurants that compete the best with Mary Mac's Tea Room is the Real Milk and Honey and the West Egg Cafe. Both restaurants serve Southern cuisine, but however, these restaurants also serve brunch as an extra option to their ever-growing menu. In this section of the presentation, we will go over strengths and weaknesses of the Mary Mac's Tea Room. And later in the presentation, we will go over why and how some of those strengths can be a positive and why some of the weaknesses can also be a positive. A few strengths I like to start off with is quality of food and atmosphere. First review says, good eating, go a little early on the weekends, however, the food is worth the wait. My family tried the cinnamon roll and said it was delicious. Another review says my most delicious option was fried chicken and fixings. You must go. I wish I had more room for dessert. Now that we're onto the weakness part of the presentation, it took me a while to find a lot of weaknesses out of the many positives because there's not really a lot of weaknesses, but I found a few. One of the weaknesses that I like to point out is inconsistent service. One review says, stay away. This is not the same restaurant it used to be. Food quality is horrible. Service is horrible. New owners have truly ruined this restaurant. As far as I'm concerned, the new owners need to restore this restaurant to get the place it used to be, sell it to someone who cares enough, or just close it permanently. I am done with this farce. The second review says, I went to Mary Mac's December 8th, 2021. There was a small wait. I ordered pork chops and it was tough to cut. The veggies were the size of a child's plate. I have been to Mary Mac's in the past and was totally satisfied. Yesterday's visit was terrible. The last weakness I like to point out is inconsistent food quality. One customer commented, I visited this place on an empty stomach and wasn't pleased at all. The food had no seasoning. It felt like everything was rushed. The waiter didn't take his time explaining anything, and we were confused as far as the food selections. One of the biggest things that I think restaurants suffer with is inconsistency of food. I don't think that the food is actually bad, but some days it may be lacking in some areas. So that's why I believe some people just don't come back to certain restaurants because of the inconsistency of the food quality. Even though most reviews are positive, it's always good for a restaurant to look at and consider the bad reviews. Reviews help restaurants grow and reach new heights, good or bad. The competition also had bad reviews. However, a good restaurant can learn from the mistakes and the success of other competitors in the food business. A few recommendations I have is a possible revamp. Closing down an entire restaurant is not the best option to take. By possible revamp, I mean going over the menu, tasting food, making sure that each food is the best it can be. What also can help is customer feedback. Invite some of those customers back in that had a bad review. Get them to taste the new food from the revamp and see what their reviews are. We can also try to do better with food by doing portion control. So there's less inconsistency and that each customer is getting the same amount of food at each dine-in. Also, one of the most common negative reviews for the Merrimack's Tea Room is parking and the amount of time people have to wait to get dined in. A few possibilities, a few recommendations I have are reservations. If people were to set up reservations, they could pick a time wherever they want to come, and their reservation is their reservation. That way, it's not on the restaurant to get everybody in. You have to pick a reservation that's on you at that point. Um, to fix the parking, I don't think there's really a lot you can do to fix the parking since Atlanta is so tight of a city. Um, one of my recommendations would be a new building or a new area to host or to have Merrimack's be centered at. A possible threat for the Merrimack's Tea Room is consistent food quality. If people aren't getting consistent food, not a lot of people will come back. And change isn't always the best. Fixing something that isn't necessarily broken can make that worse. So I believe if Merrimack continues to change things, that this could possibly lead them to closing down, sadly. One of the biggest threats I think Merrimack's Tea Room has is the bad service. It doesn't matter how good your food is. If you have bad service, nobody's ever going to want to come back because nobody likes to be treated wrongly. And then wait times can also be a threat as well. People don't want to wait in line for too long when they're hungry. So I said previously mentioned that reservations are the best option for Merrimack's Tea Room going forward. In conclusion, all restaurants should pay attention to the reviews, good or bad. A bad review can help a company strive to reach new goals. Thank you for listening. Contact us at happilyevereating.com for our email, and our phone number is 404 356 1243. Thank you for listening.